The signal from the stars. Senior Communications Officer Nadia Volkov stared at the screen, the rhythmic pulsing signal hypnotic in its precision. 3 hours into her night shift at Earth's outpost Station Delta, and the endless void of space had finally delivered something extraordinary. "Commander Alvarez," she called, not taking her eyes off the display. "I'm picking up something unusual." Commander Elena Alvarez appeared behind her within moments, dark eyes narrowing as she studied the pattern. "Natural phenomenon." "Negative," Nadia replied, fingers dancing across her console. "It's artificial. Mathematical sequences, repeating with perfect precision. And it's coming from beyond the Archer Nebula. Unexplored space." Alvarez's expression hardened. "Run it through the advanced pattern recognition." "If this is what I think it is." The station's AI worked for several minutes, peeling back layers of the signal. When the results appeared, both women fell silent. "It's a distress call," Nadia finally whispered. "And not from any species we've encountered before." Within 12 hours, the signal had reached Earth Command. Within 24, humanity made its decision. Captain Maya Chen stood on the observation deck of the UES Intrepid, Earth's newest and most advanced warship. Behind her, a fleet of 20 vessels prepared for jump sequence, the largest rapid response force humanity had ever assembled. Captain Chen's reflection stared back at her from the viewport, her short black hair precisely trimmed, her uniform immaculate. At 42, she was the youngest fleet captain in Earth's history, with 3 first contact scenarios already on her service record. "But nothing like this. Captain, the final ships are in position," came the voice of her XO, Commander Jackson. "Thank you, Commander." "Shipwide, please." A soft tone indicated the channel was open. "This is Captain Chen. In moments, we will make the jump to the coordinates indicated by the distress signal. We don't know what we'll find. We don't know who sent this call for help. But we know this: humanity has chosen to answer." She paused, looking at the assembled fleet reflected in the glass. "Whatever awaits us, we bring the best of what Earth has to offer. Courage, compassion, and if necessary, the full might of human determination. Prepare for jump sequence." Chen out. As the fleet's FTL drives engage, Dr. Elias Reeder continued analyzing the signal in the science lab. Tall and lanky, with an unruly mop of graying hair, he muttered to himself as holographic projections danced around him. "Beautiful," he whispered. "Mathematically perfect." "What's beautiful about a distress call, Doc?" asked Security Chief Karim Hassan as he entered the lab, his massive frame making the space seem suddenly smaller. Raider gestured excitedly. "The composition. Whoever sent this didn't just transmit a simple SOS. They created a message that would be universally understood by any species that comprehends mathematics. It suggests a highly advanced civilization." Hassan grunted. "Advanced enough to defend themselves, I hope. Otherwise, they wouldn't need to call for help." "That's what worries me," Raider admitted. "What could threaten a species capable of this level of communication?" Hassan checked the sidearm at his hip, a reflexive habit from 15 years in Earth's special forces. "I guess we'll find out soon enough." The jump sequence lasted 18 hours. When the fleet emerged, sensors immediately began collecting data. "Captain, we've got something," announced the sensor officer, putting it on main display now. The bridge crew fell silent as the image materialized on the view screen. A massive structure hung in space, easily 10 times the size of Earth's largest station. Its design was organic, almost crystalline, with spiraling sections that captured and reflected starlight. But large portions were shattered, debris floating in a cloud around it. Smaller vessels, dozens of them, swarmed around the structure like predators. "Life signs," Chen demanded. "Thousands, Captain," replied the sensor officer. "But they're fluctuating. Many appear to be in distress." "And those ships? Unknown configuration. They're cutting into the structure, extracting something, or someone." Chen's decision was immediate. Battle stations, all ships, defensive formation Ta. Prepare rescue teams and medical units. Captain, Commander Jackson cautioned, first contact protocols. This isn't first contact anymore, Commander. Chen cut in. This is a rescue operation. As klaxons sounded throughout the fleet, the communications officer called out, Captain, we're receiving a transmission from the structure. On speakers. The voice filled the bridge, melodic but strained, somehow conveying desperation despite the language barrier. Unknown vessels, we are the Luminary. Our home vessel is under attack by the void crawlers. They take our people, our children. Our defenses have fallen. Please, if you understand, help us. Chen stood from her command chair. Open a channel. Channel open. Captain. This is Captain Maya Chen of the United Earth Fleet. We received your distress call and have come to assist. Help is on the way. The response was immediate, a sound that needed no translation. Relief. Incoming from one of the attacking vessels, the communications officer announced. A harsh guttural voice replaced the melodic tones of the Luminary. Earth vessels. This harvest is sanctioned by Void Crawler Authority. Interference will be met with lethal force. Depart or be destroyed. Chen's eyes narrowed. Tactical. Analysis of those ships. Security Chief Hassan, now at the tactical station, reported 28 vessels, heavily armed but smaller than ours. Their technology appears salvage, mismatched. They're scavengers, Captain. Pirates. Chen translated. They're not just attacking the Luminary, they're harvesting them. She turned to her XO. Commander Jackson, deploy fighters to establish a defensive perimeter around the Luminary structure. Medical ships to approach under escort. And the void crawlers? Hassan asked. Chen's expression hardened. Send them a message. All void crawler vessels are to withdraw immediately from this sector. Any ship that approaches the Luminary structure will be considered hostile and engaged accordingly. They're responding, the communications officer said. Audio only. Humans, the harsh voice returned, somehow injecting contempt into the single word. Your species is known to us. Weak, sentimental. This is your only warning. What we take, we keep. The connection terminated abruptly. They're moving to attack formation, Hassan reported. Multiple weapons signatures powering up. Chen returned to her command chair. So be it. All ships, engage void crawler vessels. Priority is protecting the Luminary structure and civilian evacuation. Intrepid will lead the assault. As the Earth fleet moved into position, Dr. Ryder rushed onto the bridge. Captain, I've established basic communication protocols with the Luminary. They've shared critical information. Make it quick, Doctor. The void crawlers don't just take resources or technology. They harvest sentient beings. The Luminary are a bioluminescent species with regenerative capabilities. The void crawlers use them as living power sources. A horrified silence fell over the bridge. They farm them, Hassan said quietly. Harvest parts that regrow. Chen's knuckles whitened as she gripped her chair. Tactical, target void crawler weapon systems and propulsion. I want those ships disabled, not destroyed. We need to get there. Captives back. Aye, Captain, Hassan replied, a new edge to his voice. Chen opened a channel to the entire fleet. All vessels, this is Captain Chen. What we face today is nothing less than slavery and torture on an industrial scale. The Luminary sent their call into the darkness of space without knowing if anyone would answer. Humanity has answered, and we will show these void crawlers exactly what that means. The first void crawler vessels opened fire, energy weapons streaking toward the Earth fleet. Humanity's response was overwhelming. Humanity unleashed. The space between the fleets erupted in blinding light as the void crawler's initial salvo met the Earth vessel's defensive screens. The energy dispersed in crackling patterns, absorbed by the advanced shielding technology that was humanity's specialty. On the Intrepid's bridge, Security Chief Hassan allowed himself a grim smile. Their weapons are powerful, but unrefined. Brute force, no finesse. Return fire, Captain Chen ordered. Targeted strikes only. Remember, there may be luminary captives aboard those ships. The Earth fleet responded with surgical precision. Beam weapons sliced through the void, targeting propulsion systems and weapons arrays while avoiding life support sections. 3 void crawler ships immediately lost power, drifting helplessly. The remaining vessels are changing formation, Hassan reported. They're retreating toward the luminary structure. Dr. Rader's eyes widened. They're using it as a shield. They know we won't risk hitting it. Chen's expression hardened. Tactical, can we position our ships to prevent them from reaching the structure? Not all of them, Captain, Hassan replied. Some will get through. Chen made a rapid decision. Commander Jackson, take 3 ships and pursue the ones heading for the structure. Dr. Ryder, contact the luminary. Tell them to seal off any sections the void crawlers might try to board through. As the battle expanded across the starscape, the medical vessels approached the damaged luminary structure under heavy escort. The first rescue teams entered through airlock interfaces, hastily adapted to accommodate human technology. What they found inside shocked even the most experienced among them. The luminary were humanoid, but their skin emitted a soft blue-green luminescence that pulsed with their heartbeats. Many were injured, their light flickering weakly. Where they had been cut, harvested, the wounds glowed more intensely, the regeneration process visible as new tissue formed. This is Chief Medical Officer Patel, came the transmission from the lead rescue team. We have hundreds of wounded. The void crawlers weren't just harvesting. They were selecting for specific traits. The youngest luminary have been targeted most heavily. Their regenerative abilities are stronger. Chen's grip on her command chair tightened. Prioritize evacuating the children and critically wounded. Doctor, what's the status of the structure itself? Rader consulted with the luminary through his translation interface. It's their colony ship, Captain. Millions of them live here. Full evacuation is impossible, and the life support systems are failing in several sections. Outside, the battle intensified. The void crawlers, realizing they faced defeat, had abandoned all pretense of caution. They now fought with the desperate fury of predators denied their prey. Captain, Hassan called out. 6 void crawler ships have breached our perimeter. They're heading straight for the structure's central core. Chen stood. What's in the core? According to the luminary, Rader replied, his voice shaking, their genetic repository, the biological future of their entire species. For a moment, the bridge fell silent. Intercept course, Chen ordered. Intrepid will cut them off. Captain, Jackson objected, that puts us between all 6 ships with minimal support. Our shields want. I'm aware, Commander. Execute the order. The Intrepid surged forward, engines pushing to maximum capacity. As the massive warship positioned itself between the attacking vessels and the luminary core, the void crawlers concentrated their fire. The ship shuddered violently. Shields at 42% and falling, Hassan reported. We can't take all of them, Captain. Chen opened a channel to the fleet. This is Chen. Any available ships, we need support at the central core. Now, 3 Earth vessels broke off from their engagements, racing to assist. But it wouldn't be enough. Shields at 17%. Hassan updated. Structural integrity compromised on decks 12 through 15. Chen turned to Dr. Ryder. Doctor, is there anything in the luminary technology we can use? Anything at all? Ryder's eyes suddenly widened. Their bioluminescence. It's not just biological. It's how they communicate and transfer energy throughout their structure. He worked frantically at his console. If we could match our shield frequency to their energy signature, could we create a feedback loop? Chen asked, following his logic. Not just a loop, a resonance cascade. Their entire structure is designed to amplify and channel energy. Do it, Chen ordered. Route all remaining shield power through the main deflector and match it to the luminary frequency. As the ship's systems were reconfigured, the void crawler vessels closed in for the kill. Shields at 8%. Hassan announced. Failure imminent. Now, Doctor, Chen commanded. A beam of concentrated energy burst from the Intrepid's deflector, striking the luminary structure. For a terrifying moment, nothing happened. Then, the entire crystalline colony began to glow, the luminescence building rapidly. The energy traveled through its spiraling architecture, amplifying exponentially until it erupted in a blinding pulse that washed over everything in its path. The void crawler ships nearest the structure went dark instantly, their systems overloaded. Those farther away struggled with failing systems as the energy wave dissipated. It worked, Raider breathed. The luminary structure acted as an energy amplifier. We just created the largest EMP in human history. Chen didn't waste a moment. All vessels with operational systems, move in and secure those ships. Prepare boarding parties. I want every luminary captive recovered. The battle was over within the hour. 23 void crawler vessels captured. 5 destroyed when they attempted to self-destruct rather than surrender. Hundreds of luminary prisoners freed, many in conditions that made even hardened human soldiers look away in horror backslash. 3 days later, Captain Chen stood in the Intrepid's conference room, facing a delegation of luminary representatives. Their luminescence had strengthened, pulsing with healthy rhythms. On behalf of the Luminary Collective, spoke their leader, a tall figure whose light shifted through patterns of blue and green. We extend our eternal gratitude. Chen bowed slightly. We heard a call for help. We answered, that's who we are. Your species is young compared to ours, the luminary leader observed. Yet your determination, your willingness to risk yourselves for strangers, these are rare qualities in our experience. Perhaps that's why we're still alive, replied Hassan, who stood at Chen's side. Humans are stubborn that way. The luminary's light pulsed in what the translation interface identified as amusement. Indeed, the void crawlers did not expect such resistance. They believed all younger species were prey. They were mistaken, Chen said simply. Dr. Raider stepped forward. The repairs to your central core are progressing well. Within 2 weeks, your life support systems should be fully operational again, and the genetic repository is secure. Thanks to your sacrifice, the luminary leader acknowledged. 3 of your ships were severely damaged defending it. A price we pay again, Chen assured them. As the meeting concluded, the luminary leader approached Chen privately. Captain, our council has made a decision. We wish to send representatives to Earth to establish formal relations with humanity. In all our centuries of exploration, we have never encountered a species that responded to distress with such decisive action. Chen smiled. We would be honored, and I believe Earth would welcome the beginning of what I hope will be a long alliance. As the luminary delegation departed, Commander Jackson joined Chen at the viewport, watching the crystalline structure now surrounded by Earth vessels assisting with repairs. You know, Jackson said quietly, when we received that signal, Earth Command wasn't unanimous about responding. Some argued it wasn't our fight. Chen nodded. It's an old debate. How involved should we become in matters beyond our borders? What responsibility do we have to unknown species? And what's your answer, Captain? Chen watched as shuttles moved between the Earth fleet and the luminary structure, carrying supplies, medical teams, and engineers. My answer is this, she said finally. When someone reaches out from the darkness asking for help, and you have the power to give it, what you do next defines who you are. She turned to face her XO. Humanity answered. That's who we are. In the coming months, as the story of the luminary rescue spread throughout Earth and its colonies, applications to Earth fleet increased by 300%. When asked why they wanted to serve, most applicants gave variations of the same answer. Because out there, someone might be sending a signal, and someone needs to answer. Humanity had made its statement to the stars, and the stars had heard.